Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's all well. My camera's a little bit off.
Sorry, I didn't mean to test.
I don't know. There we go. That's better. Must have knocked it. How's everyone doing? I hope you can hear us, because I can't see my levels on the computer in front. Can you all hear me? And obviously then, can you also hear Louise?
Can you hear
that's
me?
The laptop. There's Louise there. And can you hear Louise? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us, which would be good if you could. Everyone's saying hi, good afternoon.
Loud and clear,
loud and clear.
Thank
Louise
you, Amco.
Good, excellent. Glad all that's been sorted. It seems like absolutely ages since we've been here.
Well, it's been
three weeks.
Because last week was bank holiday, weekend before that was workshop.
Yes.
So it's week 3, isn't it?
It is. So it's been 3 weeks since we've been here. Ah, it's warm. I'm absolutely boiling.
Stop moaning.
Anyway, anything to report, Louise? No, there's actually loads, but we can't tell.
Well, I was just talking to Penny about the Northern Lights. We missed them as well. Because apparently you could see them for 2 nights.
Yes.
Could you see them for 2 nights?
They said the second night wasn't as good as the first night, wasn't it?
I just saw it on Facebook.
But then you've got to go somewhere where there's no lights.
But people saw them everywhere, didn't they? You know, it was the middle of the night, so yeah.
Okay, we missed it. We're just going to have to go.
I mean, I wouldn't go to the window if I did wake up in the middle of the night anyway. Unless I went on Facebook, saw that the Northern Lights were visible, and then I probably would have gone out for a look.
Yeah, or the boogeyman would have got you.
Well, I'd probably take that risk to see them. I'd wake you up first.
Yeah.
make you go outside
Make me go to the
first.
window first. So I'd be had first, and then you go, that's okay, Andrew's dead.
Andrew, that's a terrible
Andrew's
thing
dead.
to say.
I'll go to the window to see the Northern Lights. Oh, I've seen the Northern Lights. And give me a kick to see if I'm still there.
Well, I don't think anybody got had by the boogeyman anyway during the Northern Lights.
No, you're quite right. You're quite right. Good.
Oh, Anthony's seen them 3 times. Oh, no need to rub it in. I'd love to see them.
You would, wouldn't you?
I've always said, haven't I? I was
on your bucket list, so to speak.
Yes, it is.
Let's chuck that down there, down the stairs.
Here we are.
Good. All right then, shall we, is there anything, I have a feel that we're missing something. We're not, I don't know. We're away tomorrow. We're going to Southend-on-Sea tomorrow. We're all going on a works outing. Not a works outing, but it's work, isn't it?
We're not all going. Me and you are going.
You and me go. We're going.
Well, that's everyone, isn't it? At the bench.
That's everyone. We've been commissioned by the NAJ, National Association of Jewellers, to do some filming for a gentleman. Can we say? That's what we can't say.
I don't see why not.
We shall. Shall we?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, we're going to Southend-on-Sea, not to the seaside, but we're going to the countryside over Southend-on-Sea because we're going to be doing some filming for the National Association of Jewellers. We're going to be filming all about watches, how to spot fake watches. And it came about from last year's NAJ, National Association of Jewellers Summit, where we went on a course on how to identify fake watches. And we thought it was going to be really easy. Look at the watch and you could tell from that. But it was really interesting because you have to take the watch apart, look at the movement and so forth. The gentleman who's doing that is now retiring. And now it's our job to get his work, his life's work on film. How we're going to do it, I don't know.
This is the thing, he's such a font of information, isn't he? And I'm not going to want to leave.
No,
because
exactly.
He knows everything, doesn't he? That's the thing. And I'm coming to the end of my valuer's qualification. I'm on the penultimate assignment, and I've been doing that this morning. It's terribly distracting because you have to look at like auctions and things like that and research items, and then you just see other things, and then you think, I know who'd love that. Me!
Shiny things. Shiny things syndrome.
It's twice as time consuming for me. But yeah, so I'm super excited. I can't wait.
And it should be good because get it all done on film. We've got 2 days to do it. How we can fit a lifetime of work in 2 days, I don't know. But yeah, so that's going to be really, really interesting. I don't know what we're going to be able to do with At the Bench when it comes to things like that, but it could be very interesting. It could be a segment of At the Bench all about watches, how to remove backs of watches, change movements, change batteries, and so forth. And that's going to be really a whole load of fun. So we've got to take all these cameras. You can just see one up by there. We've got to take all these cameras with us, all the lights, all the tripods, all the monitors, everything with us, because you've got to take it all. And it's going to be really good fun. That's about it. Anything else? Anything else we want to say, Louise? Let me alter that camera a second.
There is other news, but I just can't think of it now.
But we're not allowed to say it.
Okay.
Oh wait, we're not allowed. No, let's just knock that down. Hang on a sec. There we go. You're on film, you are, Louise, in case. There we go. We're cool. We're done. Okay, should we start?
Yes, let's start. Okay.
Let's start. Hang on. It's Monday, 13th of April. No, it's not. It's the 13th of May. Time for Monday's Q&A. Let's just have our first question, please, Louise.
Okay, I wasn't ready for the first question, as per usual. Okay, Dancing with Our Box. Hello, I'm making a 75mm copper sphere. Do you know anywhere I can get it silver plated? Jewellery Quarter Birmingham would be best.
Oh, golly gosh. Plating. I don't know of anywhere in... We've only dealt with one company who's done some silver plating for us, but I wouldn't recommend them based on past experience.
Well, just don't mention them.
I'm not going to mention them.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if I said I don't know anybody, they go, surely, Andrew, within your lifetime you would know somebody. I don't. I don't know anybody. Your best bet would be just simply to go on Google and just find some platers.
Yeah.
I know, I think Andra Jewels, I think they do some gold plating and silver plating.
Would be able to help with anything like that?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe get in touch with Birmingham Assay office and see if, because they do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
In fact, you can ask yourself in a few weeks.
Because...
Have we mentioned it? Have we mentioned the Q&A? I think we have, haven't we? Yeah, we're going to have Marie from the Birmingham Assay office here. And we're going to be doing a hallmarking, well, not even just hallmarking, because of the wide range of things they do at the Assay office. We're going to have an Assay office special.
Yes, all the things they do.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that. So it might be worth getting in touch with them. And if they don't do it, they might be able to give you some advice on who might.
Yes.
That would be a good place to start.
And they are going to have they're going to be a font of knowledge, aren't they? Sorry guys about this on the screen. Just got to zoom in on Louise a little bit to get rid of some other bits and pieces. There she is. Perfect. Excellent. No, the edge of the monitor is
I see.
Was in place. Okay.
Yeah, so that might be worth a look.
Yes. So yes, Google it. Ask on any of the Facebook groups, or you can ask say Marie a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
So I can't help.
So yeah, we need you guys, I can't remember the date actually, we need you guys to get your questions at the ready. So if you've got questions about, oh my goodness, gemstone testing, obviously hallmarking, valuations, my mind's gone blank.
Everything, everything. Safeguards, valuations, gemstone testing, lab, diamonds, real diamonds.
Yeah, all kinds of things, anything like that. Get your questions ready. Have a little look at the Birmingham Assay office website and see if anything piques your interest and throws up any questions.
Because there's a lots of people saying, well, I've got a piece of silver, but I want it gold plated. So what's it going to be hallmarked as? Just things like that. Is it thick enough to be
mixed metal?
Is it going to be mixed metal? What happens then when the gold plating wears off and it's just back to silver? I don't know. So all these types of questions, because nowadays, in the old days, hallmarking used to be really, really simple. But now with the introduction of other metals into the precious metals, the hallmarkings have completely changed. So yeah, any questions you've got regarding hallmarking, please let us know. Usual way, louise@andrewberry.co.uk, and then we can put them to Marie, or you can ask on the day when we have our Q&A, which is when, Louise?
Oh, I was looking it up, wasn't I?
Yes, you will.
It is Monday the 10th of June, so there is time
So that won't be long.
To get your questions ready,
I'm just on the board.
Getting some more info up. So obviously hallmarking, not only hallmarking, but you can have your logos punched or lasered, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, diamond and gemstone services, you can have reports, certifications, diamond screening. I mean, obviously this is really important now with laboratory grown diamonds and natural diamonds. So yeah, this is all there for you guys through the Assay office. Tanzanite reports, jadeite reports, other gemstone reports, laser inscriptions on stones is available. I think that's what it means. So that's really, really good. Analytical services for nickel, lead and cadmium, all that's there. All kinds of metal testing, which I'm not really au fait with, but I'm going to ask Marie about all of these when she comes. Crystal glass testing. Overview of melts and assay of precious metals, tarnish tests. There's all kinds of stuff going on, the evaluations.
Good.
So
it sounds like going to be an amazing Q&A.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of questions, I have no doubt.
Brilliant. And the date, put it in your diaries. It's Monday the 10th of June. It's the Assay office Q&A with Marie. Good.
I'm excited. Okay, Claire is saying, I need to buy a dust extractor for my polishing machine. Any recommendations? I have seen your double dusting with the polisher. Also, if I get a dust, then how often do I have to change the filters? You
can buy, I think Fordham make a small little extraction unit to fit behind the mops. Now, if you have a double-ended motor, you in theory have got to have two of them. So that's twice the cost. Obviously, if you have a single, you've only got to have the one. I have the Dustin double spindle with extraction and the filters. How often do you need to clean them out? It depends obviously on, are your mops new? Because they are going to throw up an awful lot more of threads than an old mop would that's already been used quite a few times. So if you have a newish mop, they're going to need changing a lot more often than an old mop. It also depends on how often you polish. I would be inclined to, because Dustin had two. One of them had the slide out filters on either side. The new one, the filters are built into the top. I would say that I would clean them out once a week. If you feel that you can get away with it longer, you can do, but all I would simply do is just perhaps get a damp hand and just scrape over the filter to get rid of all the cotton, put that into your Lemel bag and just keep going until you find that they are really, really dirty. Then I would wash them in a bowl with some nice soapy water, just to then try and clean them. But that soapy water now has precious metals within it. So either strain it through a coffee filter or simply let that water evaporate. You got all the dust in the bottom, get something like a baby wipe to wipe the bottom of your bowl and put that into your Lemel. So that's the way I would do that. We have another polishing motor downstairs with extraction, an industrial, like an industrial one. And there are two big, almost like felt tubes, about 2 foot long, one on either side. The extraction goes into those and then it gets sucked out. So what we do with that, we simply tap them or get a rod up from underneath to try and remove all the threads and the polishing dust from inside. It falls into the containers. We put all those containers, what contains in those containers, into our Lemel. And we do that about once every 6 months because they're large and they're industrial. But the small little ones, a week should be fine. Sorry, that was a long answer. Yes.
Comprehensive, very good, Andrew. Beth, I really hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. Get well soon and take care of yourself, please. Legate Jewellery Academy. Hi, Andrew, have you ever made anything out of titanium?
I'm embarrassed to say yes.
Why are you embarrassed?
Oh, no, because this was like 35 years ago when titanium was just coming onto the market, and all you could do with titanium in those days was cut out like shapes.
Bend it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just bend it, shapes,
what can you
spiral
do
it, rectangular. and then used to put it into an anodizing solution, and depending on the length of time it's in the anodizing solution, you could actually colour it all different colours.
Somebody made some lovely rings, didn't they? Who made some lovely rings? Was it Phil?
So nowadays, yeah, so nowadays technology has advanced and you can do a lot more with titanium than just simply cutting out bits of sheets. So that's why I'm embarrassed to say. But then back in the 80s...
Why are you embarrassed? We can't see them.
No, it's true, but I would be really embarrassed if you could see them.
Go and get them, we'll have a laugh.
Oh, they've been, my father threw away everything from the attic, didn't he? Remember that? Yeah. So we just simply cut, and the problem is then with cutting it, it used to ruin your piercing saw blades, used to ruin guillotines. There was so many problems that you had back in those days. But now technology has advanced. You can laser out titanium without marking it. You can water jet it, so there's no discoloration at all. But nowadays, what you can do with titanium is absolutely brilliant. So the answer is, yes, I have made jewellery out of titanium, but just simple little stamped out pieces, but nothing construction-wise and welding it or anything like that, I'm afraid. So yeah, really boring answer, I'm afraid, sorry. Send
us anything you make, a picture, obviously, send me a photo.
Unless you want to send any jewellery,
that's a bit
your mailbox
brazen,
isn't
it, asking for jewellery? No, yeah, send me a picture. I'd love to see what you make out of titanium. Yeah, it'd be great to see. Amco says, be careful because even a fake watch tells the correct time twice a day. That's what I say to you, like a stopped clock. Don't I? You're right. Twice a day. Stuart says, getting frustrated with the ring blank lengths, trying to create a 2.5mm thick, 10mm wide chunky size N. Using ATB ring blank length chart, but ring coming out too tight. Any tips, e.g. allowances?
Yes, because you have got the width of the band that's really interfering, giving you the wrong finger size because of the width. Because a narrow band will slide upon the finger nicely, and the chubby bits of finger will go around it. So here's knuckles, and here's my finger. Wow, look at that for a finger, boy. Okay, don't know why I've drawn.
Sorry.
It's pretty good if you ask me.
It looks like a Monty Python finger.
Let me just draw my nails a bit longer.
Don't worry about your nails.
Okay, so when you put the ring on, your chubby bits will go sort of like that one. Here's the ring, and your chubby bits will go like that. Yeah. Okay, so those are your chubby bits. Because the ring is narrow, the chubby bits have a plenty of room to go over. But if the ring is wide, like that, the chubby bits are pushed out all the way over here, which then makes your ring blank completely wrong. Usually the table is good up to about 3 to 5mm. After 5mm, you do have to add on about a size to a size and a half bigger than what you want to make it. So say you measure it with the narrow bands and it comes out, say, a size T. Don't make it a size T, perhaps make it a U and a half to a V to accommodate for that extra bit where the actual chubby bits of your finger are compressed underneath the ring. So I would take it to that. About a size and a half to 2 sizes bigger if it is 10mm. That's a nice wide chunky ring. And if it's paid between 5 to 8mm, I would make it one size. I'd say between 8 to 10, make it a size and a half to 2 sizes bigger. And that's what I would do.
Can you just whack it up the mandrel if it's a band?
Wouldn't, no, I would say, no, you've got too much of increase to whack it up the mandrel. Okay. And also being wide, it's going to be slightly tapered. So make that allowance beforehand. Yeah, definitely. Yes, Louise, let's have another question.
Oh, I wasn't ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we have a show and tell today, did you say?
I do have some absolutely beautiful things to show you.
Oh, nice.
Just give me one moment, though. Let's have another question a second. And then Joe asked a question regarding soldering clay. I need to do a balancing act with 2 pieces needing soldering. I can only find 2 options, hold it and wolf clay. Any thoughts? Many thanks.
Okay, so the easiest. What are you?
Can you tell us what you're balancing on how you
Yeah. Best thing is cool heat.
Yeah.
Because cool heat is going to hold. I've never ever needed a clay. I've never needed to hold it. I've never needed wolf clay. So I wouldn't even bother with them.
Well,
okay, you've got but what I'm trying to say is,
but if you've never used it, you can't say.
But what I'm trying to say is that the majority of people have cool heat, so you've got something already to hold on to your pieces. So there's not much point buying another product when you've got a product on your bench that will do exactly the same thing. Cool heat will hold it because perhaps you're holding the back of two rings together and you're soldering the top. It's not going to get overheated, and it's a great medium for holding because it's slightly. You said it's like an avocado, isn't it? A mashed up avocado.
That's what it reminds me of. It makes me hungry. It makes me think of guacamole.
It's blue, Louise. It's blue.
No, it's that soapy texture, though, isn't it?
So don't bother with the clays. Simply I would have thought you've got cool heat or thermogel to protect stones when you come to solder them. Use that. And if you don't have any, buy some because it's the best thing since sliced bread. Yes, Louise.
Let's have another question.
Okay.
Fiona is saying, regarding claws, getting them to sit onto the stone, do I have to make a little cut where it folds over the stone?
Yes. So basically what you would do is that the problem you've got, if you're trying to bend a piece of metal sharply, you have to reduce the thickness of the metal at that point. So you've got, my pen is slowly starting to run out. What are you laughing at?
Looking at the comments about the finger.
Smell my finger.
It's gone. Oh, it's gone. Just said turn it into a crocodile.
So this is what you've got. If you're trying to bend a piece of metal, doesn't matter what thickness, you will not be able to bend it sharply. Because if you try to bend it sharply, it would do that. Yep, and here then would be a stone coming by here. Yep, so that would be your stone that would be coming in like that, and you cannot bend it sharply. So it's like scoring a piece of metal. So to get a nice sharp crisp corner angle, you need to reduce the thickness of the claw at the point that the stone is going to sit in. You can use something like a ball burr. I would take this down to about 1/3 to 1/2 of the claw's thickness, because then at that point there, the claw now is going to be able to bend so much easier because you've made that little bit of a cutout so that the claw is going to bend nice and easily at that point that you have made in the claw. So that would be there, like that there. That would bend nice and easily. So the claw would bend like that and the stone is in here. Can't even draw stones these days. There we go, that's better. So that is then exactly how, and then this would become nice and tight against the side of the stone. So yes, ideally trim out the claw. You can either use a ball burr, or usually what I would use, here's your claw here. What I would use is perhaps a straight-sided setting burr that looks like that, because then it's a 90 degree, so the angle down here is at 90 degrees. Then when this goes into place here, and you go down into the claw, you've got that angle here, which mimics the girdle and the pavilion of the stone. So once you've done that, and the claw is up here like that there, once you've done that, the claw will bend at that point and it will just come over onto the stone and your claw would be looking like that. And the stone sits in here nicely. If you have a ball burr or a cylinder burr to put a little groove on the claw like that, the stone is going to rest on this edge here, so you'd have to take a little bit off the side for the stone to come down into it, if that makes sense. Thank you.
Good. Going back to Joe's question about the soldering medium.
Yes.
Resoldering plate, it's 2 slightly domed wire oval filigree pieces. 2 slightly domed wire oval filigree pieces.
I would say use the definitely use the send us a picture, but definitely use the thermal gel.
I know you can't use it for this, but I've been loving my lion's claw.
You have, yes.
There's a couple of times now I've said, Andrew, can you come and just hold something down, and then I've got, oh, actually I don't need you. I've got my lion's claw.
So another.
On the subject of filigree, do you want to see some absolutely beautiful pictures?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
That's okay.
Oh, hang on, that's something else. Let me get rid of that. Let me try and get these pictures up first. Okay.
Shall we?
Are you ready?
I am ready. Shall we have a look?
So, a couple of weeks, yes please, a couple of weeks. Anthony sent me some pictures of some of his work. So this is obviously a model made out of silver filigree. The dimensions are 11 by 8 by 2.5 centimetres with the glass dome and the plaque. So the piece is 14 centimetres high by 15. Sorry, I think the dome must be 14 by 15.
Yes, exactly.
It took me a week of work to finish. It is absolutely exquisite, Anthony. I'm also attaching a photo showing it with the glass dome on. The mirror is polished silver plate and it can be removed.
Wow.
So yeah, wow.
It is amazing, isn't it?
I was absolutely blown away when I saw that.
That's just over 4 inches, 5 inches
so that's
tall.
Amazing. Oh, yeah. Wow. So I've got some other pictures.
Amazing amount of work.
Look at this.
Wow, the detail in that.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal, isn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Such a work of art. And another little close-up here.
That really is amazing.
Wow. Is all I can keep saying.
It is.
I absolutely love it.
You don't appreciate it. All you see is the overall shape from a distance. But when you go in close and you can see every single little bit of detail on that, fabulous. Outstanding.
Sounded Welsh then, Andrew. Fabulous.
Fabulous. That's fabulous.
Fabulous.
That's outstanding.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Very good.
Thank you so much for the photos. I know, guys. I know. Anthony, I forgot to ask you, but are you here? This is by Anthony Bonici. And Anthony, if you want me to share your social media profiles or any way for people to contact you, if you want to do that, email me I should have asked you earlier, email me however you want to be contacted, and perhaps we can link it to the film.
Yeah, the film, of course you can.
If you want. If you don't want, then obviously remain anonymous. But if you do, we can do that.
Yes. Very good.
Amazing.
It is good. Absolutely amazing. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sending that in. That was absolutely lovely to see. Good. So you've come off my screen now.
Yes, I'm on you now.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Love it. Fab. Star is saying, would anyone know why you would silver plate sterling silver?
Often it's to cover up fire stain, basically. It's an easy way. A lot of silversmiths do this to get over the fact that if they've been raising bowls and so forth, there's usually lots of fire scale and lots of fire stain. So that would be the reason why. Sometimes it's a lot of hard work to remove the fire scale over complicated pieces or large pieces. So it's easier just to get the piece polished and then sent away to be silver plated. It just covers up silver plate, basically.
Silver jewellery is mass-produced silver jewellery. I'm not sure about whether you guys plate your silver with rhodium, but mass-produced jewellery that we buy in.
It is now.
Is frequently rhodium plated, isn't it?
Yes, it is now.
For like anti-tarnish, I guess, and just brightens it right up.
I feel that it doesn't have the same brightness as silver, though.
No.
No, I feel it's a nice, highly polished, but it's not bright.
But it does temporarily prevent tarnishing, I suppose.
Majority of cases, yeah.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, because I know there's one brand that we've got that tarnishes quicker than anything else, and I don't know if it's because of the stands, because you have to put the relevant brands on their own stands, don't you, and their own POS, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the one that I know rhodium plates does tarnish quite quickly because we're forever.
Are they? Is it old jewellery? Is it new jewellery? Is it the old stuff before the rhodiumed, or is it one of the latest ones? I'm just wondering
I'll
whether
find out, but I do think it's the stands.
Affecting it.
Affecting
it's
it,
the glue and
yeah.
the formaldehydes in it.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So that's that one. And Janet says, my husband will be very interested in your watch filming. He has quite a few he's taken apart, cleaned and put back together. Oh, cool. All around 60, 70-year-old manual ones. When will we all be able to see? It's likely to be on At the Bench. And so we've got to film it, and obviously there's quite a lot of editing to do then, so it's likely to be a month or so, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a long time. Yeah, it'll be a few months, yeah.
So it'll be a little while. And obviously we've got to speak to the NAJ as well about how and when we can share it, because it's
it's not necessarily our property.
It's not really ours exclusively, is it? Because it's
we're doing it on behalf of them.
Yeah, so it's for their students and valuers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Primarily, but yeah, it will be of interest to lots of everybody. I think,
Be really good. Absolutely.
Cool. Great. Sani says, thank you for your email back about my Dremel torches. Yeah, did you Sani sent us a photo of the soldering torch?
The Dremel torch, yes, the vertical one.
That was so cool. Did you know about that?
The vertical ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you did. I was like, oh, that's new.
Ones, yeah.
No, it's not new. Yeah, it was cool. What are you laughing at me for?
Sorry.
Cheeky bugger. Maybe your questioner? Yeah, it could be one of those plating brush type kits, electroplating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can certainly ask, yeah.
We can ask, yeah.
Yes.
Sunny said, I have a touchstone, I have the liquid to test. My question is, how do you best test silver? It does not call a touchstone, it's a test stone, sorry, not a testosterone, a test stone black. Touchstone is a test stone. I have a touchstone, I have the liquid to test.
Yeah.
How do you best test silver?
Just test it on the metal itself. Because with a touchstone, it's like black. And then,
I've not used the touchstone. Sally, you're introducing a whole new world to me.
Yeah, so the idea is you have a touchstone.
Have we got one?
No.
Oh.
And the idea is
I haven't seen it
and
then.
the idea is then you get your piece of metal, gold, silver, whatever, you rub it on the touchstone. So it's abrasive. So then you get a streak of the metal from what you've just done. And then you test that with the acids.
Ah, so it's like a file then, is it?
It's like, yeah, it's like a file, but obviously the touchstone is neutral in the sense. It's not like a file, it's steel that would give false readings with the acid. It's just like a black stone.
So is this, because the acid, the Troy test comes with a little file.
Yes.
So presumably that's going to be something that's going to be inert to the metal.
No.
Oh, it's not, is it?
So you use the file to file what you are testing to get through gold plate, silver plate, plating that's been put on it. So you get to the metal underneath to test it. But that's the only reason why the file is there, for you to file the surface away.
But that's different to the touchstone.
Yeah, and then you test the metal once you've filed it on the metal. But with a touchstone, you'd have the touchstone like that. You go like that, so you get that.
So this is black. Like a streak
so
test,
it's like a streak. You go like that, and then the mark on here. Then you test with the acids.
You test the mark.
Yes, you test the streak with the mark, with the acids. Yes.
Oh, I'm going to get a test. I'm going to get a test stone.
Touchstone.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Okay.
So going back to the thing, what I would do is test the metal itself. I would put the acids on the metal, and you can always polish it off afterwards. It's not a problem with that. But yeah, I would test that. Yes, do it that way. Yeah, definitely.
Good.
That's
okay.
how I would do it. Yes.
Okay, Shy. Hello, Shy. I haven't seen you in ages. Lovely. A customer has a tennis bracelet and wants the stones taken out and replaced. Should I try to heat the piece before removing the old stones?
No, I would not, because there's going to be dirt that you're going to burn onto the tennis bracelet itself. So I would just simply perhaps get a claw lifter or a prong lifter or a pair of top cutters, just to ease back the claws. You only need to ease back, it's usually a 4 claw on a tennis bracelet. I would just ease back 2 of the claws, take the stone out, and do that all the way along. It's going to be very long-winded, but there would be no need to heat it up. I don't want you to burn the dirt onto the stones or onto the metal itself. That it would cause you a problem. So take the stones out first of all and then clean it.
Is there a reason that you want to heat the piece before taking the stones?
I suppose to anneal the metal so that the claws
would
come out easier. But I think doing that would be far more detrimental to the piece by burning dirt onto the stones or onto the metal, where it should come off easy if you put it in the ultrasonic and steam it. Once the stones have come out, then you can get in there with the toothbrush and get it all off.
Okay.
That's the way I would do it.
Good.
Of course.
Yes. Ian, hi Ian. I've been asked to increase the size of a titanium ring. It's a plain band, but the shank is 3mm thick. Is there anything I need to be aware of when trying to resize it, please? And I think you sent me oh yeah, I've sent photos of the ring. Okay, one moment, please. Not yet.
I was just saying, you won't be able to resize the titanium, I'm afraid. It's as simple as that. You can't stretch it like a normal gold or silver or platinum ring. You can't hammer it like a normal ring. You'd have to go to a specialist who would be able to do that for you. So unfortunately, yeah, there's no way that we're going to be able to sort of assist you when it comes to that, because you've got to use specialist equipment, which is usually outside the realms of a gold workshop, silversmithing workshop. Can I show?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, wouldn't even try. You're never going to do it. You're never going to resize it. You're never going to resize it with an upright wedding ring stretcher. You're never going to be able to put it on the mandrel to hammer. It's not going to move at all. If you're in the UK, I would go to Getty in, is it Hilton Street in Birmingham, and ask him his advice, because then he's the main guy for titanium, and he'd be able to tell you or help you. But unfortunately, you're never going to be able to do it, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Oh, that's a shame.
Sorry.
Okay. Lynn Enameler, I have the little 4-in-1 and I use it with my dual tool when I'm polishing rings. I have a finger thing that fits it too.
Nice.
Cool. And then we're all laughing at your finger. Anthony says, if I am measuring a customer for a wide band ring, then I use a wide band ring measurer and not the smaller wide band type of measurers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Totally. And also the inside profile, I find, makes a difference, doesn't it?
Sometimes it is misleading.
Because we've got 2 gauges and one I never use.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's really court-shaped inside.
Court-shaped, yes.
And then there's always more room in it, isn't there?
There is.
And it's narrow, court-shaped inside, and the other one is generally more reliable, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's the one I tend to use when sizing customers. Yeah. Everyone's loving Anthony's filigree. That's cool.
Nice. Oh,
and the mod's here. Hi, John.
John is here.
Beth. Beth. Get well soon, lovely. And it sounds like they're looking after you and doing all the tests, so that's really good. I think we're up to date with questions, unless I've jumped. Have I jumped?
I don't know. I don't think you have.
I don't think I have,
Kids, lots of comments on the filigree, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Tennis bracelet.
Yes.
Cool.
Good. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, John, I haven't posted your plectrum yet, but I will do. I'll have to do it
very shortly.
Thursday now. I want to be able to do it tomorrow.
Back. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. That's about it then, isn't it?
We've got 20 minutes.
Come on, guys. Let's get some more questions. Let's have some more questions. Thank you. Let's just check my phone. So it's been cleared. Good. All good. It's what we like to see.
Cool.
Excellent. But yeah, lots of things are happening behind the scenes, aren't there?
Oh, yes.
Lots of things. Lots and lots of things. Yes, you may have seen a picture of Louise in her garden, in her Shedio.
In the Shedio.
In her Shedio. And we have a few things planned for that later on in the year.
Well, if we get time. Yeah, this is the thing. It's when we're here, everything's here, isn't it? And it's nice to be able to sit down somewhere quiet, and it's quiet here as well, but it's different, isn't it? It's not work in the Shedio, so it's space to just go. And certainly for me, I mean, you can do everything perfectly, obviously, so you do still practice, but for me, I've got more practicing to do. And so yeah, I just sat in my Shedio and
Shedio, shed and studio together.
Yeah, and did some practicing, and it was just lush.
It is nice because, you know, I sat on the sofa behind you, and I sat there, and it's quiet. You know, the cat comes along to say hello, the birds are singing, the flowers are out, the sun was out, which obviously does help, and it was just nice to sit there. And as you say, it's quiet here today because we're not open, shop's not open, and it's nice here.
Yeah.
But I feel that being here, you are in work.
Yeah, and you're doing repairs and projects, work related, aren't you? But in the Shedio, I can do whatever I like to do. Yes,
but the way I feel, when I look at it, is that when I'm here, I feel that I have to be making money by what I'm doing here. Not
of
not
course
here.
You have, because it's a business, isn't it?
Or downstairs, or in the other room, or upstairs with a tool store, whatever. And I feel there's a little bit of pressure, perhaps the fact that you're here in work, on the day that there is work, that you feel you should be making money. But sat in the Shedio with everything around you, even though perhaps it may be on a work day, if we did it, it just feels lovely and relaxing. You've got the fresh air coming through, you've got the sunshine, we're going to get some music out there, and you just sit there and you just enjoy. You can look around. Look around in this place, what do I see? Two big lights there, light there, camera. You go in the other room, there's tools everywhere, there's tools down there, and it's more intense. But in your Shedio, it's nice, it's calming, relaxing. You've only got these few tools here.
You're not in work, are you?
You're not in work. Even if it was work time, I'd still feel totally relaxed in there. And it is nice. You're outdoors at the moment. We've had last few days has been lovely and sunny, and it's been lovely being down there. It's been nice and relaxing. It's
nice as well to kind of like go right back to basics, and I'm thinking of things I can make down there which don't involve all the paraphernalia, and we're so incredibly fortunate. We've got lots and lots of equipment, haven't we? We get sent lots and lots of tools to try, and we've got lots of things here.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to just have the very, very basics and just use the very, very basics. And there's not even ultrasonic, is there? We just back and forward the sink with bowls of warm soapy water and a soft toothbrush. So it's just, yeah. What I want to do is show what you can do with just the absolute bare minimum and just this space.
Yes.
Not this space, obviously this space, much space in the Shedio. Yes. That's the idea anyway.
But it's just like, going back to, 30 years ago, 25 years ago now, isn't it? Jamie Oliver, the naked chef, he said he's stripping back the recipes to the bare basics. And that's basically what we're doing. Yeah, we can all sit here with GRS components and dual tools and disc cutters and polling machines.
They're great to have when I'm not,
Absolutely. But starting off...
We haven't all got all of it, is the point, isn't it?
And that's what we're trying to be doing, is to show people what you can do with experience in, not even experience, but techniques that you can implement with the most minimal amount of equipment, but still get fantastic results. You don't need all this equipment. It's great if you've got it, but if you haven't got it, don't be put off. Don't be put off by someone sat here or wherever it may be, and they got the GRS equipment, the ball vice. This costs like £300-400.
Coming out of everywhere, and
you don't need that. So we're stripping all these particular projects down to those basic techniques that you'll be able to use.
Yeah. So that's sounds like work now, doesn't it? It's just combining. It's just hopefully showing a little bit of what we're going to be doing. Because don't forget now, it's May now. In 2 or 3 months, it's going to be August, and that's really, if you're doing craft fairs and getting things ready for Christmas or planning on doing anything like that, now is the time. August is probably the time to start making things ready. If you don't want to be rushing at the end, if you need to work how many pieces a week you're going to need to make, to have a collection for November, really, when people start their Christmas shopping. So now's the time to start designing and planning it.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Sorry
if you have to
to-
brush
yeah,
up,
sorry
and if you have to
mention
brush
Christmas,
up on
but
any
it's-
techniques, you've got a few months to do it.
Yeah,
before
you've got to
can...
plan it now. I mean, like some of our brands that we stock have already asked us for predicted Christmas orders, and I've gone, what?
So you have to think in advance. You have to think like a
But
brand
yeah,
thinks.
It'd be great to plan now and then start in a couple of months, and then you're on track. And I'm all for planning.
You are.
Because I don't work very well under pressure, so I have to plan. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the Shedio.
that's the Shedio. Yes.
And Christmas.
Yes.
Which will be here before we know it.
Absolutely.
Shai, how do I adjust my adjustable saw? I think it's a joke. Okay. Oh, thank you, Amco. It does, doesn't it? Anthony, going back to ring sizing again, I take it there will be additional considerations if the shank has a right angled internal edge as opposed to a curved shaped internal edge, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, but yeah, basically exactly what Louise was saying about the internal profile of a ring.
Because what you could do is flare out the ends ever so slightly. Yeah. I've done that before.
So that's the section
just
to a ring,
make a little
isn't
bit
it?
more space, to
a
make
D-section.
it more comfy.
Yeah, so that, as you say, is more awkward to put on than that. If that makes running out of board now. Yep, so that is harder to put on than this, because as this goes on the finger, I'm not going to draw a finger.
Go on.
There it is there, okay. This is harder to put on because it's got these sharpish edges here. But this allows for that little bit of chubbiness to flow over your finger that does that. Whereas that, it stops it and then it's got to push out your chubbiness. So yes, and then you'd always measure then to the tightest point would be the size. But that would go on the finger easier than that. It also comes off the finger a lot easier because again, you've got this little chamfer, and as Louise says, what she does is put a little bit of a chamfer on the edge that would look, my pen's running out, there we go, like that. So she would put a bit of a chamfer on the insides of the bands to allow for that.
Exactly. Or a bit of a wallop with a doming punch, slightly to open it.
You would flare it out, yes. Yeah.
Because I've done that slightly, so you wouldn't really notice, but it just feels more comfortable.
It's just that edge. File it, just round it, flare it out if it's flat. Yeah, be nice. Good. Excellent.
These little touches make a big difference when they're all put together, don't they?
Exactly.
Cool. Dan says, making my sphere from 12 domed pentagrams. Wow. I'm planning to solder on a wooden form. Any way to protect the wood from the heat of soldering? I
don't think you're going to be able to. I'm not quite sure how you're going to lay it out. I don't think there's going to be any way that you're going to protect.
Could you put a heat? No.
You could use some heat-proof like wadding.
A blanket.
That would go. Yeah, heat-proof blanket that would perhaps go in a kiln. Some you can get some of this like a wool, heat-proof wool that goes in kilns to rest things on when it goes into a kiln. So something like that you could put between the wood and what you're soldering, but you're going to have to be so careful that the heat does not burn the wood. Do some practice first and see if that would be enough. Or perhaps a fire blanket. That may be a great idea. Like like the fire blankets you get for put by your chip fat or something like that to smother flames with. Might be an idea.
Foil, tin foil, or is
conduct
that?
The heat.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
But yeah, I think some of that wool would be ideal. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Let's see. If you could choose a celebrity to make something for, what celebrity would you choose and what would you make? You've done this, haven't you? I'll let you explain.
I've done it years ago. Again, we're going back to Jamie Oliver, wasn't it?
You love Jamie Oliver, don't you?
I love Jamie. Yeah, I made him a ring. I don't think he ever wore it.
You got a lovely letter back.
I did have a lovely letter
from
back.
His publicist.
From his secretary at the time, and a signed photograph as well that I'm sure he sent out to everyone. And I've still got it. It's actually on the wall down in the workshop.
It's framed, isn't it?
It's framed. I was so proud of it. And I met him with the kids, met him at a book sign over in Bristol. And he signed a book and we met him, took some photographs and all that sort of thing. Hello, girls, he said. Anyway, that was to my kids, not me. I had curly hair then.
You're assuming, yeah.
So I made him a ring, and obviously during those days when he just started, he used to say the word pucker quite a bit. So I just basically did a ring, and I'm like the initial rings that you can get, and I did pucker across it, and I sent it to him. Anyway, that was that. Oh. And then I also made. Have you
still got it?
I doubt it. If I met him and I questioned him, he'd say, "I haven't got the face ID. What are you talking about, mate?" But then I also made a silver dragon that I sent to one of the BBC regional broadcasters. Newsreaders, yes.
She's a newsreader, yeah.
Yes, I think she's long retired now, but she wore it many times on the television, and I think there was an article in one of the local regional newspapers as well, whole page advert wearing my brooch as well. And I know she got stopped in Marks and Spencer's in Swansea, and somebody asked where she got the brooch from, and she said, me. And that person actually came up to the shop and she bought one.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you very much. How about you, Louise? What celebrity would you make something for, and what would it be?
I don't know. I've never thought about this. I'll have a think. I'll let you know next week.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Easy way out.
You need to upgrade your Shedio, paint it, decorate it, put it fairy lights and flags. Well, I have got my bunting and fairy lights, but yeah.
And we do have fairy lights as well. Yes, we do. And we got a pegboard now. There's a pegboard in there as well. Bits and pieces. The sofa's in there.
Yes, the sofa. Well, the sofa's been there a while, isn't it?
Yes. What's Anthony's?
What is your approach when it comes to fabricating a four-pronged setting?
Okay.
I know they can be outsourced, but how would you fabricate one if need be?
There's quite a few ways to do this, and it depends upon what you want. There are 3 ways. Very quickly, there could be 3 ways. The easiest way would be to get a piece of tubing, the right outside diameter of the stone that you want, and what I would do is get some round wire, and I would solder on the wire. But what I would do is, there's the wire, I would keep the wire in one piece, make it into like a horseshoe, and solder it on, okay, like that. And then what I would do then is also get another bit of wire and do exactly the same thing with that, and that would go over like that, and that would cross over the top of it, something I can't even blimmin' draw today. There, that would go down to there, and that piece would go there. Okay, so that then would go behind, and that would come down, and that comes down. Does that make sense? Like that. It's easier to solder on the claws like that, okay? Perhaps even get 2 pieces of wire, cross them, solder them in the middle. I must get a new pen. I don't know what happened to all my other pens gone. Cross them like that, then bend it then into that sort of shape, solder onto the tube like that, cut it off the top of there, you've got a 4-claw setting. Really easy, nice and simple. You could also then get, my pen's not working today, let me see if I can very quickly get another pen.
You just saying, is there an all the glitters show this year? There's not. They've, I think they've
cancelled.
They've cancelled it, haven't they? So yeah, that's.
They have cancelled. The other way to do it would be, there we go, but to get your wire, again, do a cross like that, and then bend it into that shape. And here's the other bit of wire then coming up this way, and there's the wire going that way. Okay? Bend it into a V shape like that, and then you've got the 4 claws coming up. Does that make sense? That's that way, nice and easy. And the other way would be to get round tubing, round tubing, force it into a collet plate, so you've got that shape, okay, and then file away these areas here, yeah, like that. File away that would go, I'm trying to work this out, like that there. And then you got this here, this is another
not
claw.
the bench film on this.
Yeah, there's loads of films on At the Bench like this. Yeah, so that'd be the way, file away the metal and then just leave the 4 claws. So that was really quick, 4 ways to make a 4 claw set, 3 ways to make a 4 claw setting. Yes.
Good.
Okay, let's have another question.
Clay, how's Bunny? Bunny is...
He's all right now.
It's the same as he... Oh, see what? Yeah, he wasn't very well. He's fine. He's just...
Yes.
Unfriendly.
There was a question before, just after the one you just asked.
How far did I get? I think...
Just after the 4 claw setting, there was another question. I can't see it on my screen.
I've got a bit muddled up now.
Dance without rocks. He did. He does. Jamie Oliver actually said, I was watching an interview with him not so long ago, he actually said in his film he did when he looked back over the last 25 years, he said at the very beginning he used to use the word pucker. And he did admit that now. Which, looking back, is a bit sad, isn't it, using the word pucker?
Well, it was the 90s, wasn't it?
It was the 90s,
we all did
yes.
things in the 90s. I'm in a right pickle now.
Go down.
Where to are we?
Go down.
Done the ring sizing.
Yeah.
Choose a celebrity. Upgrade your Shedio. 4-prong settings.
Done.
If you were a young jeweller getting started nowadays, how would you approach it? I've been focusing on CAD recently, just curious what you would do if you could start over with the knowledge you have. Shorten my question, if you were starting as a jeweller today, with the knowledge you have now, how would you approach the industry?
I would not do CAD.
Initially or at all?
Initially, as a young jeweller.
Just wanted that qualification.
If I'm coming into the trade now, what would I do? I would get a job. I would get a job in the jewellers. I think I did it a good way, and I did it the way that actually I would do it all over again. So I went to, perhaps I wouldn't go to university. Anyway, I went to university, I got a degree in design. And I've always been interested in that sort of thing, how things work, how things are made and so forth. And we did all sorts of design, metals, plastics, technology and all that sort of thing, yeah. And I specialised in metals and then specialised in jewellery. But perhaps, yes, go to university or get a job straight away and make sure the university would teach you all the basics, teaching you how to sew, teaching you how to create, how to make, how to solder, how to create items, how to cast and so forth. Those are the essential techniques that you will learn and be with you for the rest of your life. So if you go to a university or higher education, make sure they do all the basics. As boring as they may seem, it's not as fancy as metal sintering and CAD and whatever it would be, because you really do need to know the basics. Or if you then go into a jeweller's, start at the bottom, start sweeping floors and start on the bench making coffee, polishing, whatever it would be, and learn the processes, learn the techniques, learn the trade. What I did, I went to university and did all the design part, but when I came out of university, I got a job in a retail jeweller's for a Christmas, and we started sort of September time and I went through until about January. That jewellers was on the high street in Cardiff. They also had a workshop. I spent all the time on the shop floor learning on how to serve people, how to greet people, how to deal with clients or customers, whatever you want to call them. But then in my break, in my lunch, I went downstairs into the workshop and watched a guy do all the repairs, do all the making up down there as well. So I had the best of both worlds. Once I was there, and I did that for about 3 or 4 months, I had a basic understanding on the retail side of things and also perhaps the construction and how to repair jewellery, and then I started my business from then. So definitely don't worry about CAD straight away, because you need to know the basics. You need to know how jewellery is constructed, how it's put together. You need to know how to solder. You need to know how to pierce. You need to know like basic casting, bending, creating shapes, doming, using disc cutters, doming punches, rolling mills. You need to know that even before you go anywhere near a computer to start doing your CAD, because you need to know how thick claws need to be, tolerances, distances between upper and lower galleries, and everything when it comes to that. So I would, if I'd had my life all over again, perhaps I wouldn't go to university, but I would start straight away at 16 or 18 coming out of school and go straight into a workshop. But definitely do that. That would be my take on it now.
Yeah.
Yes. And don't get me wrong, CAD is brilliant, but I think there's so much emphasis put on it these days, whereas
I think it's learning jewellery design without knowing limitations.
Yes.
Isn't it? You have to know the limitations of what can be done and how it's done.
Yes.
To be able to know if what you're designing or what you're doing is doable.
Yeah. It looks great on the screen. We did some settings, and the upper and lower gallery was I can't remember how big the depth is, but then when they went to the casting company, they said, Andrew, you cannot do it that thin, because by the time you have the resin made, you get the molds made from that, and then you lost wax cast it and they're created, that gap is going to be non-existent. So it's experience and knowing what tolerances, thicknesses in the real world, in the real metal, you can then relate that to CAD. So you can't go straight into CAD and expect all your pieces to be brilliant from the word go. I think it's essential to learn how metal reacts. If it's going to be CAD, it's going to be cast, is it going to be brittle? Do they have to be thin? Platinum made can be thinner than gold. Yes.
So basically, in short, get involved.
Yes.
Go to trade shows if you can. Go on courses.
Talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get into it, get involved and network.
Yeah, definitely.
Is I think the best way, because...
And get out there making right from the start.
The people we meet give us inspiration and give us ideas and opportunities, don't we?
Yes.
Don't they, rather?
Yes. Yeah.
That's been a huge source of...
Definitely.
Of inspiration and work, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but the sooner you can get out there and get sat at the bench, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lewis, I have one more question.
Let's see. Janet, Louise, my motto is, how did the Romans make it before all those lovely tools? Yes.
Exactly.
And the Vikings and the Egyptians. Yes, exactly. And yeah, it's
because
like,
again,
like we said, there's everything, isn't there? There's too much when you're starting. You don't need any of that stuff.
No.
And you don't. Well, I suppose depending on what you want to do, you need them. But
I wrote a couple of articles for the Professional Jeweller about this very thing. Is that if you look at what has been created back, as you say, the Roman days, the Egyptian days, how much would those pieces of jewellery cost today? When there were no shops back then. There was no retail stores. The person who wanted their torque bangles went to the goldsmith and discussed things over a bench like this. But they would then have the basic materials, and what that would, even things like the granulation on some of the Etruscan pieces nowadays, they would cost you thousands upon thousands of pounds. And people don't necessarily try and do that in the old-fashioned way. They'll try and think of modern ways to do it, to reduce the costs. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Before I go too far.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Excellent. Is that it?
I think so. It's 5 past
Good.
5.
5:05.
You've got to pack up.
Yes. Yeah, so there we go. So everyone, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for all the comments. Once I get on my high horse, I do keep on going on. And it's thanks to Louise to reel me back.
No, you are. There's so much you can do, isn't there, with just...
Oh, yes.
I'm not saying, go out into the woods and, hit your head into some metal and use nothing.
You say hit your head?
Well, it's just, don't just, we don't have to be like cavemen, do we? But I'm just saying there are things which are portable, accessible, inexpensive, and accessible. And these are the things that...
Learn to push
are within
the techniques that you know.
Yeah, and there's so much you can do with these things.
Yeah, just don't get a disc cutter to cut out a heart. As though that may be great, just learn the art of piercing and filing proportion-wise and just practice all that.
Yeah, but you might find that you're doing a collection involving hearts and you need hearts of lots of different sizes, and if you design a collection around that, then it's going to be it's going to be
beneficial.
Really good
Absolutely.
Because in the time it's going to save you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be cutting out a lot of hearts. But,
yes, absolutely.
And it's all good practice anyway, isn't it?
It is. All right, I'll leave you now. So yeah, we're going to be going to Southend-on-Sea tomorrow to do some filming for the Nudge. We won't be here for a couple of days, but we're back next Monday with a Q&A. Or are we? When is the next bank holiday now? We've
End
got
of May.
Two weeks
Let's
to go,
have a
haven't we?
look. Hang on.
Yes, 27th.
We've got another Monday off.
Yes, 2 weeks' time.
Is it?
Yes, and then the workshop after that is the beginning of
3rd of June. What's the...
Torches. Because remember last workshop you went, oh, you're going to show how to do that?
We're going to do torches, and you were like, no.
No, we're not going to do torches.
I thought we were doing torches. But we were
So torches. So the next workshop is the beginning of June. We're going to be looking at things like these little torches here. We're going to be looking at single gas, like the Sievert. We're going to be looking at oxycons. We're going to be looking at needle flames and aqua torches as well. So that's all going to be the next workshop, which is going to be in 3 weeks' time. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Good.
A lot of people have been asking, how do I set up my oxycon? What's the difference between Smith's Little Torch and Sieverts? What's the best torch for this? What's the best torch for that? And we're going to be showing you in practical demonstrations on how to put your oxycon together. Good, we're going to go. Keep an eye out on socials this week. We're going to show you some bits and pieces from over the next couple of days doing the watch workshop. Yes.
Happy birthday for Sunday, Penny.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Penny.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey.
Sunday. Excellent. Good. We're going to go. You're an Essex, Claire Wilson's an Essex girl as well. Cool.
Cool.
Good. We're going to go. We're going to see you. We're going to be here this time next Monday for the next Q&A. As I said, keep an eye on socials for lots of what's happening this week. We shall certainly let you know. In the meantime, goodbye from Louise. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.